Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Film Club Podcast, where every month we deep dive into a different aspect of cinema, directors, actors, genre, or franchise. It does not matter, because it's always fun at the Film Club. I'm Dean.
I'm Becky.
And this month we're talking about animation, and this week we're talking about...
Onward.
And for Onward, we have a guest.
We have best friend of the podcast back, Ariel. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
We're here. We're ready to talk about Onward. This was your pick after I tortured you last time.
Yeah.
Was not a fan of Crybaby.
I was not. I'm sorry.
But you actually got to pick your movie instead of having it
I sent
forward.
a list of different movies.
And you sent a really good list.
Yeah.
We had a really tough time. We had other people come in and look at the list, and no one could come up with a decision.
Road to El Dorado was probably the highest voted one, but Becky decided on Onward.
Because I knew it meant something to
why.
you. And because it's 14, because it's, just nerd stuff everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty nerdy. It was
pretty nerdy.
It was the right kind of nerdy. It wasn't nerd face like in Big Bang Theory. This was like real nerd shit.
Really, Sheldon?
Real nerd shit, goddammit. But yeah, so why Onward? Why did you want to do the episode on this movie in particular?
I know why she wanted to do it. She wanted tears out of Dean.
I did.
She wanted to break the man.
Why?
Because you have that, that air about you. I'm the film guy. Nothing breaks me except for Iron Giant.
Well, Iron Giant's a masterpiece.
We could have done Iron Giant.
If you really wanted to wreck him, we could have done Iron Giant.
Oh, Iron Giant's a masterpiece. But no, Onward didn't, make me cry. I mean, don't get me wrong. It tugs at your heartstrings a lot. Like, the last 30 minutes of the movie, there's, 4 different parts that are just like, all right, boys, we're just gonna pull the heartstring nice and tight.
He totally hugged his dad and brother after watching the movie yesterday.
Not accurate in the slightest, all right?
Your dad's probably like, Dean, what the hell? Get off me.
Yeah, that is exactly what my dad would say if I tried to hug him, honestly.
He hugs me.
Well, yeah.
He likes me.
Yeah, he likes you. But...
Dean, not so much.
But yeah, so...
Dean knows what he did.
I sent my brother underneath the house without a flashlight and locked him down there.
That's terrifying. Why would you do that?
I wanted to know what was under there, but I didn't want to go. It was underneath the house. It's spooky down there. There were spiders and stuff.
Didn't you light the microwave on fire?
No, I never lit the microwave on fire. I lit... Oh, God, what was it? I think I boiled over a pot of ramen on the stove, and that caused a small fire.
I knew there was something with fire.
You know what? My cousin did that at my house. She almost set my house on fire. She put the cup of ramen in the microwave, which you're not supposed to do anyway.
No.
But we do anyway.
Yes.
I mean, it's on
what
the box.
it is.
It's on the box.
But she puts it in for I think 2-3 minutes, whatever time she put. But she put it without water.
Yeah.
Smokes up, lights the noodles on fire. Yeah.
And the styrofoam, it's a bad combo.
That's rough. But Onward.
It was pitch black,
Those noodles were charred.
But Onward. So this is coming out in 2020.
The cursed year, the cursed month.
Yes, this actually because this comes out
March.
week, 2 weeks before everyone goes into lockdown.
Right when we got laid off.
It was a very dark time.
It was a dark time.
And I remember the movie when it was coming out. It had some, Disney was pushing it. They were like, this is going to be really cool, because I think they had a whole, Disney experience thing tied to the movie or something, like a video game tie-in.
Oh, I don't remember this.
I do remember it was, being controversial because it was banned in some countries because there was one gay character in the movie that is in one scene.
Yeah.
Oh, the cop? Yeah.
And I guess it was banned in, 5 countries because of it.
It's so stupid. All she says is, my partner. And it's like, really?
Yeah.
That gets a ban? Come on.
But I was just like, I remember this movie vaguely, and then it disappeared into the ether for 3 fucking years.
Or did you remember it because of the sweet van?
Oh, the van is pretty sweet. Guinevere? Sweet van.
Guinevere is pretty nice.
But we should probably tell people what the movie's about.
Mm-hmm.
So I got the back of the box here.
Always.
Let's see how many takes this takes.
Oh, God, I've been so bad lately. I haven't gone through a single one of these without fucking it up at least once in, months, I think.
A few days ago when we were here recording. I think it took you, what, like 2-3 tries?
Yes.
For one movie?
Also, I'm throwing it out there, guys. This is not a bit. Like, I legitimately can't, like, read my notes aloud without fucking it up somewhere.
Your writing looks very small from here, and I have my glasses on.
Oh, you have to wear glasses. Obviously, you can't read from here.
You can't see.
Don't worry about it.
I'm nearsighted. I can't see that far.
And Dean can't see anything, and he's like, "Boo, check it for me." And I'm just like,
What does this say?
I can't even read, the cards that you give me. I can't read that from here.
See, that's the thing. It always is exactly what I say it is if you can't read it, right? So what the movie's basically about is in a mythical world, magic has been forgotten and left in a time gone by as technology rises as a easier alternative, but two elves have a chance to harness some of that old magic to meet their long-dead father for one last time. The two brothers hop into their sick van and...
Is that on the box? Sick van?
Sick van. Yes, the two brothers hit the road in their sick van.
It doesn't sound like Disney to me.
Yes, it's sick van with a cool, art style on the side. Just saying, sick van. And hit the road, meeting a manticore restaurateur, pixie bikers, and avoiding the cops. Oh fuck! God damn it! And avoiding the centaur cops.
This is
on their
really
quest.
not Pixar.
I'm working on it. Avoid their centaur cops on their quest. But once they have their final item for their spell, they will have to contend with a ancient curse if they ever want to see their father again. That's basically the broad strokes of the movie.
You read that how I read aloud in class.
I always mess up.
Oh yeah.
I sound illiterate when I'm reading out loud.
It is so...
I can feel the panic.
It is
like,
so
oh my God.
bad, right? Because I'm like, I read constantly. I read books, I read magazines, I read all the fucking time. But if you ask me to read aloud, it'd be like, the dog jumped over the... have I ever seen that word before? Okay, brown fox. Yeah, dog jumped over the brown fox to get over the fence. I have a college degree and I can't fucking read aloud. What is this? I know, it's fucking horrible. But yeah, so my reading aloud besides, so Onward to the movie Onward.
Yeah, I really didn't pick up anything that you were giving me in the bio, sorry.
Really?
Just the sick van.
Yeah. It's a sick van. It's a bitchin' van, guys.
It's a bitchin' van. Well, the whole movie is kind of this urban fantasy, right? Mm-hmm. It's everything has this aesthetic of being like basically now like 2020 something America.
The cursed years.
But it's all fanciful, everything's elves and centaurs and pixies and manticores and wizards and this and that or whatever, but magic's just not a thing anymore, right? Sure.
I'm agreeing, yes.
Interesting. But yeah, so I really liked the movie. Did you have anything you wanted to start off with this episode, Miss Becky?
It really was a bitchin' van.
That is going to be the whole podcast.
We're going to have a whole segment on Guinevere.
This is going to be the whole fucking podcast. It's just talking about the sick van.
Hey, you've been talking about this for months, how you want your bitchin' van with the art on the side of the van, and you drive your van and listen to cassette tapes. We're finally here. I think you should trade in the Subaru and get yourself a sick van.
I can see you driving a sick van. I'll put it out there.
I am not even close to the Chris Pratt character, Barley. I'm not even close to that guy. All right, not even close.
I like Barley.
Hey, he's fun. He's Chris Pratt, so he's playing Chris Pratt.
I think they were casted really well.
Yeah,
because Tom Holland plays Ian, and you can kind of see like his mannerisms that he is in, like, let's say Spider-Man, right? Skittish, like all nervous kid. And then you have Chris Pratt as the big brother.
Just being Chris Pratt.
Yeah. It's like a combination of
Andy from Parks and
Rec. Yeah, Andy and a little bit of Star-Lord a little bit.
Yeah. And a little bit of Dean.
I can see that.
Oh, Lordy.
Well, I will say, so this was like my 6th time watching it.
What the fuck?
Yeah. I
like the movie, but 5-6 times, Jesus.
I'm a Disney person. I'm a Disney adult. I am diehard Disney because I love Disney so much.
Did you cry when the parks reopened?
Oh, no, not
you weren't that kind of Disney adult?
There's a difference between being like going to Disneyland adult versus like being a huge fan of Disney and what they put out.
Yeah.
If I had money for a Disney pass, I'd be there every day.
Same. I miss it.
Just walking around, eating, going on a few rides,
getting Starbucks, hanging out, sitting on a bench,
getting my funnel cake.
That's Knott's Berry Farm has the funnel cakes.
Disney has funnel cake too.
Disney has funnel cakes?
Yeah, they're really good too.
What does Disney have funnel cakes?
Maybe if you stopped hating on Disney and,
they're in
my family
Frontierland.
took me there when I was a kid. I burned out on Disney.
I mean, Disney's easy to burn out on. Let's be honest here.
I lived there as a kid.
I did too, but now they're just a little too expensive.
Yeah, it's
Sorry,
very
Disney.
expensive.
It's expensive. It's crowded. It's hot. Everyone you talk to
I will
feels
say, though,
entitled and shitty.
When they came back, when they reopened the parks, since they do reservations now, it's a lot easier to go in, and not a lot of people are there. Like, I'm not gonna say it's like you'll go in and like a ride for like 15 minutes or no, but it's
you don't want to lie to the people.
I'm not gonna lie to you. There's still lines and there's wait times and stuff like that, but it's less chaotic as before.
Yeah, I still don't want to go to Disneyland.
He's very anti-Disney. And he's hating that Pixar broke him. He loved this movie.
Oh no, the movie was great. I'm not gonna dispute that. It was really, really good. Like, I like the whole because the guy that directed this, right, is Dan Scanlon, I guess.
I saw it and I read Scallions and I can't get Scallion out of my head. Ned.
Dan Scallions. So he also directed Monsters University, and that made like a shit ton of money. And this was basically his like blank check movie. Like, you get to do whatever you want, right? You made us a bunch of money, so you get to do whatever you want. And he's like, well, I'm gonna make a movie about me and my brother, because I guess his dad also passed away when he was like really young, and his brother kind of took that role. And then the movie bombed like a motherfucker, and I was like, oh, poor guy.
Would you call this a bomb though? Because it's really good.
So the movie cost $180 million to make and made $142 million at the box office.
But that was also because of the pandemic too.
Yeah, because this was before Disney Plus was like, it came out and it's started, but not a lot of people had it.
This was like the first VOD Disney movie. Like, it's in theaters, and then COVID happened, and it was still in theaters, and they put it to like VOD to try and like recoup some of its numbers. But I don't think this made it to Disney Plus for a while, because I think they were still trying to make a little bit of cash from it.
Oh, okay.
But then all the theaters closed because, COVID. So
because they came out before like actual shutdown, right?
March 4th is the release.
And then we got let go.
Yeah,
the next week.
We got let go. So it was March 18th because I had just given out everybody Lucky Charm cookies
for St. Patrick's
for everybody,
Day. Yeah.
And then next day it's like, oh, sorry, you're being laid off. I'm like, what?
Yeah, that was fun.
Did my cookies not say anything?
Oh, you're trying to bribe people, being like,
I didn't know we were going to be laid off.
We were under the assumption we'd be back in 2 weeks.
Yeah, because they were like, oh, you're going to be furloughed. I was like, what the hell is furloughed? But I found out, and then ultimately let go.
This movie is very weird because it is kind of like the last big Disney film before the world just goes into lockdown and we're just in a massive shit show for a year, right?
Yeah, so I feel like, if COVID hadn't happened, I think the movie would have done a lot better than what it brought in.
Yeah, I think it probably would have too, but I mean, the big interesting thing about this movie is because it is like the last major release before lockdown, right? I can't think of any other movie like this big that doesn't get like, pushed back, because I think Wonder Woman was supposed to come out in like April, and they just pushed that fucker back until whenever, and they just released it on HBO Max. Black Widow, I think they did the same thing.
Yeah. And Black Widow didn't do that great either.
No.
Huh?
Oh no, I think Black Widow did like really poorly. I think it's like the lowest earning Marvel movie, I think.
Yeah, I liked it.
Was it good?
I haven't seen it either.
I watched it in 2 parts because I fell asleep. Not because it was boring. I
I
was just really tired.
like how when I asked, was it good? And you were like, well, and you just kind of stopped. You're like, I don't want to besmirch my credit. I don't want to say it was good.
She's a sleepy gal.
I'm a sleepy gal. I'll sleep anywhere at whatever time.
Yes.
I guess it wasn't boring, but for me to fall asleep, because I don't like to watch movies in parts.
Yeah.
Like, it irks me. I need to stay up and just watch the full thing.
I can agree with this.
So I guess in a way it was a little bit boring for me to like fall asleep. That, or I was really tired.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I liked it. I'm not gonna say it's my favorite Marvel movie, but it was good.
Okay. But Onward, singing it 5 or 6 times, it's gotta be a favorite.
I'm a toxic gal. I just like to cry sometimes.
Yeah.
The movie is a tearjerker, all right? I'm not gonna argue that. There's like the whole like last 30 minutes of the movie is gonna be like, hey guys, Are you crying yet? If
I-
not, it's gonna happen.
This was my probably, I want to say, my 5th time watching it, right?
Mhm.
I started tearing up when when the mom is pulling out the staff in the attic.
At the beginning?
In the beginning.
Oh my
And
god.
I said out loud, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm already going to start to cry.
Jesus Christ.
Oh no.
Because the movie, what is that? That's like, what, 15 minutes into the movie, something like that?
yeah.
Because the opening of the movie is we're following
Ian.
and basically him trying to be like, oh, I'm 16, my birthday's happening, I'm gonna like make some friends, I'm gonna learn to drive, I'm gonna be a cool teenager.
He's taking notes. He's so cute.
Yeah.
It's adorable. He's like, how to be a grown-up.
Yeah,
and
he
he's
puts
doing the check
new
notes.
me.
New me.
That's what the list is titled, New Me. He has a little checklist.
We've all done that.
Sure.
I have done checklists. So
I have.
I feel
Yeah.
him.
Sure. We've all done that. It's not weird.
Because
But-
he does- guy that-
he says that he's not Barley.
I know. But he also walks around with his field notes notebooks wherever he goes.
Oh yeah, I sometimes need to write down cool ideas and stuff.
So there might be a list in there, the new dean.
God no. I look, if we're talking about high school Dean, I was never in an Ian phase at all.
Because you were a Barley.
Yeah, he's a
And it
total
was-
Barley.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, we get introduced to Ian. He is scared of anything. He's very nervous, jittery. Barley is the exact opposite,
Mm-hmm.
to the point of being embarrassingly confident in himself.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds familiar.
I'm,
A little bit of that Andy character
Mhm.
from Parks and Rec comes out.
That's interesting because Chris Pratt, he has basically monopolized being the charming buffoon for
Mhm.
like his entire career, kind of.
Not really in Guardians of the Galaxy.
I'm
he's
gonna look at you
goofy.
like this and being like, really?
He's goofy, but he's pretty smart.
I'm gonna tell you about the greatest hero of mankind called Kevin Bacon. And
He is. He saved a town with dancing.
Who can do that?
Kevin Bacon. They made a whole movie about that.
Exactly.
How did you not know
Only
this?
Hero.
Kevin Bacon can do that.
Have you seen the Guardians Christmas special?
Where they
I
saved him.
haven't.
Also, him being yes, Star-Lord, charming buffoon. Because isn't in the first movie he saves the world by just doing a random dance to distract somebody?
Yeah.
Yeah, to
Yeah.
Ooh Child.
Charming buffoon.
I have the tape with me. I've got Awesome Mix Volume 1 with me.
Just have that on your phone at the ready all day, every day.
I think it's the physical one.
No, I have the physical tape.
Why do you carry the physical tape with you everywhere?
Because
You
I
never
could-
know.
Because I couldn't find Guinevere. I do have the McDonald's Guinevere van. I couldn't find it. But we have tapes in this movie, so I brought Volume 1 with me.
Yes.
For the
Wow.
photo shoot. Mm.
No, because I wanted to listen to it in the car.
I don't have.
But-
oh yeah,
We do have a tape player in the car.
So we do. It's my car, and I forget these things. But yeah, we have Chris Pratt, and he shows up, and he's just embarrassing the hell out of Ian,
As older
And-
brothers do.
as you do. Also,
You
how
would know.
old is Barley supposed to be?
He's
Well,
like
they said
18.
They say teenager, and he's not in high school, so I would say between 18 and 19.
Okay, because I was kind of thrown off for a second. I was like, is he supposed to be like 21 or something?
They're both teenagers.
Yeah.
Okay,
Because the cops are like, 2 teenagers.
Look, Barley could be in his 30s, but I think they would still call him a teenager the way he's acting, guys. Come on, let's be honest here.
Well, we learn why he
we
acts
didn't
fearless.
We didn't leave our
and-
teenage years until we were like 24. Come on now.
I'm very mature for my age, so.
I mean,
she's over there, but sure, like
14-year-old.
14-year-old.
It took me a lot of time to get you to buy a new suit because you were still wearing your suit from prom.
It fit.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
The
Well-
suit fit and everything. It was clean.
I guess, for suits, they don't really go.
It was a pinstripe suit.
Oh my god.
I look pretty good in it. You
No.
can say whatever you want. It was a nice looking
And he's
suit.
not Barley. Okay.
I know. Where's
Com-
the beanie?
Confidence gets you
Oh my
everywhere.
god, don't mess with my game. All my figures are out.
That's another thing. Barley is like he's a nerd, right?
Mhm.
But he is not like a Big Bang Theory nerd where it's like, oh, he's like smart and like socially awkward. He's like a nerd where he's like into metal music and like dragons. Like he is
Mhm.
that kind of fucking
Well, given
nerd.
the world that they live in, that makes sense, though.
Yeah,
Because maybe that's his version of Big Bang.
it is.
Where instead of doing.
And Dean's so
Elements.
anti-Big Bang because,
They're doing nerd face. It's offensive to the nerd
if that
culture.
isn't the nerd pot calling the nerd kettle.
Look, all I'm saying is Barley's, he's one of my people.
Face it,
alright?
you are Barley. I would be Ian.
Probably the reason why I probably chose this one was because it reminded me of you. I thought you would like it.
And he did. He loved it.
This is a way for her to slide in calling me a charming buffoon.
You are a charming buffoon.
You're a golden retriever.
You are.
So
much.
So rude to me.
And he wears
This is a compliment.
He wears a beanie.
I mean, not today.
Do you wear beanies?
Constantly, but not today.
Just the one.
Just the one.
Just
do you wash it?
No.
Yes, I do. I take care of that beanie.
That thing smells ripe.
It does not.
And you found it on the street.
I did not find it in the street, but it might have been a teapot cozy at one point in its life.
That thing is huge. That thing could fit like a potted plant in it.
So back to Onward, the movie we're supposed to talk about today.
We're talking about it.
So right around, after Ian gets completely embarrassed by Barley, they discover...
Poor thing.
Poor thing. His mom is like, so I know you really wish you could have met your dad before he died in an illness we're not going to explain. Here, he left
probably
this
cancer.
Most likely.
He was tied. He was like tubed up.
Yeah.
It was magic cancer.
And the fact that he was trying to, hold on to meet his son was just like, that's heartbreaking.
So sad. I'm gonna cry again.
Is this the first like heartbreaking moment? Is when he listens to like the tape of his dad's voice
and having a conversation with him?
That's so
horrible. Sad. Probably another reason why I started crying in the beginning of the movie.
Everything makes you cry.
Ariel, easy crier.
I'm a crybaby.
Oh yeah.
My siblings make fun of me because for me it's not a good movie unless I cry.
She's like watching Star Wars and she's like, it's just so beautiful. He blew up the Death Star. Oh, it's beautiful.
Don't spoil it for her. She hasn't seen it.
Oh,
I haven't.
She's only seen Force Awakens. Remember she told us that last time?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for you.
That's why she's got to watch the original trilogy.
I appreciate the the aspect of it, like all the work that went into it.
You got to watch the original trilogy.
You seen The Godfather, Seen
Don't really remember
Jaws?
I've seen Jaws.
Okay.
Well, she beats Brandon in that.
True. One of our friends who's a film person has never seen Jaws, and Becky makes fun of him constantly for
I've
it.
seen all the Jaws movies.
Ooh.
Wait, you've seen Jaws? All what is it, 4 or 5 Jaws movies?
Also, I want to make a note. I don't make fun of Brandon for that. I'm still just shook by that, that he's never seen Jaws. And I was wearing my Jaws socks, so even my socks were like, what the fuck? But kudos, Ariel. You've seen all the Jaws movies. I haven't even seen all the Jaws movies.
My dad is an old soul, so this is why I know every episode of Scooby-Doo, because that's what he watches to take his naps. I know a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Ariel, I know a lot of things.
I know a lot of things.
She's like, I drink Starbucks, and I know things.
She does.
Not even Starbucks, it's just coffee.
Didn't I get you a shirt like that? What was it, like, I bake
I
know
things. I bake and I know things, yes. That's me, and I still wear it.
But yeah, so after our initial "let's make everyone cry" section of the movie, their mother comes down and is like, "Hey, your dad wanted to give away this magic staff."
She didn't know what was in it, though.
Yeah, she didn't know what it was.
She didn't know, but she's like, "Here you go. This is something I never opened in the 16 years your father died." Since,
it was a gift to the 2 boys, so yeah, why is she gonna open it?
Once they turned 16, or she said after you turn 16. Yeah. So she could have given it to them anytime afterwards.
She could have given it to, Barley when he turned 16, but she waited until Ian turned 16.
That's a strong-willed woman not to peek at the gift. I'm just throwing it out there.
Kind of reminded me of my mom, because my mom, she, hides gifts, and then like years later, she's like, I was going through my closet and I found this Merry Christmas, and I'm like, oh, cool, Walking Dead poster. This has been here for a long time.
It makes sense why she forgot. It, like, not forgot, but it wasn't like on her mind constantly. She was left with a dead husband and having to raise 2 boys.
And she got herself a nice boyfriend, a centaur.
Officer Bronco.
Officer Bronco.
I like how when his profile pops up on her phone, it's main man.
Doesn't it also play like some Marvin Gaye song?
Yeah, let's get it on. She's like, whoa.
I don't know how that happens.
I know, like Pixar, you're really pushing the boundary with that one.
It's good shit right here. So this is when they kind of like have a look at it and they figure, oh, their dad was a wizard. And he's gonna
into wizard things,
into wizardry.
And then the mom's like, "He was an accountant. He wasn't a wizard."
No, but she did say, "Oh, he was getting into some weird things before he passed away."
Yeah. So it makes you think. did he try doing a spell and maybe, you know, that made him sick? Because there's always a consequence with spells.
That's true. Ooh, okay, Becky.
Oh?
Well, I didn't even think about that.
Well, resident nerd, you know, is that, you know, something that could be, you know, true?
I mean, probably. Like, I don't know. I'm not the screenwriter.
No,
I'm
but
using Becky's favorite argument when she asked me
Hey,
when I
I'm
ask her
not the
questions.
screenwriter.
I didn't make the movie.
You're not. You didn't make the movie, but you're the constant DM.
Like, yeah, like it would be a thing where like that makes sense in the context of the movie because I think they make a point where your spells have consequences if you don't do it right, then things can backfire.
Because that's how Barley got super small because he was poor kid. He was just so much pressure.
So,
I felt his anxiety.
Oh, me too. That would be Dean. You know, you're not doing it right. Move your arms. Do this. Do that. And I'm like,
His
I
little
just wanna
position
do
that
it.
he
I
takes.
just want to make sure you do it correctly. All right, you know?
and it's like, let me focus, but while you're focusing, I need you to do this. I'm like, let me focus, please.
This time that I've watched this movie so many times, but this time I had a little different lens on it because I just wanted to see it, not like as a background movie. I just wanted to watch it.
Yeah.
And I started focusing more on Barley as like the older brother because like instead of being mad, like upset that he didn't get the little wizard gift, him being so into magic, he was excited for his brother.
Yeah.
So I thought that was cute.
Dean would be totally mad if his brother got magical powers and he didn't.
Well, okay, if my brother Randy used them for or had magic powers, he would use them for evil immediately.
He would just conjure up more books.
No. Randy would get the wizard tower. He'd be up there in his big cloak. He'd shoot lightning from his hands. No, he would become an evil wizard. I would put
he would just,
put
you know,
money on this.
Nah, I think he'd be manifesting new books. He'd be getting, you know.
I'll call him right now. Honestly,
Call him. I don't care. Do it. He's reaching for the phone.
Let's see. Okay.
I think he would be, you know, manifesting new books, and you know, he'd be having like Chick-fil-A, you know, just magically appear in the lair.
But what is it? The spells, the bombastia. He'd be doing the little fireworks.
That would be Dean. Dean loves fireworks.
Hey, Randy, I have a question for you.
Wait 1 second. What would you say?
I have a question for you.
Sure, what's up?
So, if you got magical powers like wizard powers, would you use them for evil? Like, would you get the giant wizard tower with the cloak, shoot lightning, and try and lord over a realm?
Or would you manifest and get like brand new books and get like free food popping up whenever you want?
I mean, it would be hard to resist the temptation to... Well, okay, here's the thing. I would be like evil, but like Thanos evil. Like for the greater good type shit.
I see.
So you'd snap us all away.
No. I said like Thanos.
Oh.
Because, you know, it would be one of those villains where, you know, I start making my speech and you being like, you know, he kind of making some sense.
Okay. Thank you, Randy.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. Bye, Randy.
Bye.
So,
We
yes,
really
he
didn't
would
get an
become
answer.
Thanos.
But like Thanos, not snapping us away, Thanos, just like...
But I mean, I get Thanos's, you know, why he wants to do it, but his execution was very evil. Hence, it goes to your point where he'd probably use it for evil.
And this is why I would not want Randy to have magical powers.
You'd be super jelly.
Fun tangent as it may be, but no, he does not need superpowers.
Super jelly.
You'd be jealous. Because, like, he was trying for, like, X amount of time to do, like, the spell or whatever. And then it wasn't until, like, they gave up and Ian didn't even try until he was, like, being all sad and mopey. Saying it quietly and then
He was going back to his sad boy phase.
He is a sad boy.
He was talking to his dead dad's audio recording. Isn't that terrible?
Sad boy. Super sad boy.
He doesn't have any friends because he's so shy.
Sad boy.
A total Barley that wouldn't understand.
Yeah, he would.
I had
Getting
ton of
arrested
friends.
for protecting historical landmarks.
He wouldn't do that.
Oh, God, no. I was like, Barley's a hippie.
He
Dirty
might have,
hippie.
He might have done that for Comic Cult when they closed down the comic book store.
You
I'm
know,
gonna chain myself up.
Yeah.
chain myself to the door.
I feel like that's the only time that he would, you know, actually actively do something like that. This is a historical landmark. We can't do this.
But he was a nerd of his, like, you know, this, like, mystical realm that they live in.
Yeah, and I love that about Barley, that he is so, you know, into the past and into their lore, and it's like, you know, this is part of us, even though we've progressed, and ooh, cool, it's easy to flip a light switch versus, trying to cast a spell to light up the house.
I also like how he's like talking to those little the biker gang
The
pixies,
sprites?
the sprites. And he's like, you used to using your ancestors messed you guys up. He's so passionate.
I love how angry the sprites are. You talking about my ancestors?
Like, they're about to throw hands, man.
Little hands.
Because what is it? Like right after like they get the staff and everything like that, and they're like, oh, we now only have the bottom half of our dad because magic works like that, I guess.
It's also Pixar.
It's
Pixar.
Pixar.
We're
He
not going to
wasn't-
give you that.
He wasn't completely. He couldn't finish the like full execution of the spell.
And then the crystal
because-
blew up.
Yeah, the little phoenix gem. So cute.
Adorable. But now they only have the bottom half of their dad. And I'm like, man, I'm really surprised the mom didn't, do anything with that, but whatever.
I had a feeling you were going to go
she has
there.
a Bronco, okay?
Yes, she does.
Oh, she has a Bronco, you say.
Who also drives a Bronco police car.
He
I don't know if you
does.
guys noticed that.
I did.
Subtlety. Thy name is Onward.
And on the police cars, I don't know if you guys noticed, but it said, serve the realm.
It did.
Serving the realm.
And then Dean was like, it's beautiful.
It's
I need that for my car.
It's adorable, all right.
This time around, I did notice like a few little things I didn't notice before.
Like the burger place,
Mhm.
something Shire, and they're like, oh, now offering second breakfasts.
Yeah, there's a bunch of like fantasy references like throughout this entire movie that are like, okay, yeah, that's Lord of the Rings reference. Okay, that's like a Dune reference. That's a this reference. That's a that reference.
But
a lot of D&D references.
But
The
did you
movie's
know
full of it.
that they actually got permissions from Wizard of the Coast to use things in the movie?
Really?
Yes, because
Mhm.
I think a gelatinous cube is like technically like Wizard of the Coast owns that. Like that's not like a mythical like thing. Like that's something that they made up in
Oh,
the
they
70s.
really wanted to include it then.
Yeah, but
Dang,
yeah.
how much did they
apparently
pay for that?
I have no idea, but yeah, a lot of like I noticed that watching the movie. I'm like, this feels like. Did you see D&D Honor Among Thieves? The
No,
new
I
D&D?
want to watch it though.
You should. It's a really good movie.
Really good. We did a review for it on the podcast, and it was really really good. But this feels like kind of in that same realm. Like this feels like a D&D like movie, just urban fantasy instead of like high fantasy.
Mhm.
Yeah, we get a Manticore in this movie, and the D&D movie we get Owlbear.
Yeah.
Isn't there a gelatinous cube in the D&D movie?
Yeah. There's a gelatinous cube in that as well.
I feel like there's manticores in a lot of things. 'Cause
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys seen Grimm, the show.
Oh, I love Grimm.
Grimm I rewatched it.
Yes, I watch it
finally.
all the time.
So good.
I told you need to finish watching Grimm.
Oh God, I think I watched a little bit of it when it was still on the air, but it's been many years.
It's
It's on
available on
Amazon.
Peacock.
Ooh,
And
fancy.
Amazon Prime.
Ooh,
So there's no excuse. You can watch it. You can burn through it.
hashtag not sponsored.
But we really should be.
But yeah, so they get the bottom half of their dad, and they are now on a quest to get the Phoenix Gem to
To get a new Phoenix Gem so they can complete the spell and restore their dad.
And that is when we meet the Manticore at the
At the tavern.
Manticore's Tavern. It's a rough and tumble place.
I like how
They
they park like super not where the rest of the people are, or maybe they entered through the back. I don't know, but I thought it was hilarious.
That would be typical Dean, oh, there's parking up front. Yeah, we're not going to do that. We're going to park as far away as possible.
I'm convinced this whole episode just exists so Becky can make fun of me. I swear to God.
You are Barley. And the fact that you were fighting it, we really need to make you see that you are Barley.
I don't see it. So I love when they go into the Manticore's Tavern and it's all built up like this is gonna be a rough and tumble. This is gonna be like some real hard shit. And they open it up and it's Chuck E. Cheese,
Chuck E. Cheese,
TGI Fridays,
any like kid restaurant where they doing like big
Goofy's
birthday.
Kitchen.
Yeah,
and the Manticore is great. Honestly,
She is
think
a
she's the
stressed
best.
out restaurateur
Yeah.
owner. She is
Octavia
just.
Spencer. She did great.
She did. And she is just like, oh, yeah, you want the map? Cool, it's right here. Look at the kids' menu. And,
Gives them a box of crayons.
yeah. And she's like, I've got tables to serve. The karaoke machine isn't working. I've got a lot on my plate.
Did you notice that she's also wearing like little heels? I never noticed that she's wearing like little heels and she's like doing her
And
thing.
she's wearing like a vest, too.
Yeah.
Kind of like.
her nails were painted.
They
I don't know
were.
if you guys noticed.
Yes.
She is definitely trying to live her best life now. Working in this restaurant. It's like, I used to be a rough and tumble bar. Now I'm doing kid stuff and my life is a lie. And then she burns down her own fucking bar. It's great. It's great.
I love that full circle moment where she's like, "That's right, I am a bad bitch. I'm gonna,
yeah.
you know what? It's time to shut down for renovations and let's light this on fire."
She literally was like, "Bye."
Mm-hmm.
The Manticore goes from 0 to insanity in like 5 minutes.
The way she they're in the car and she rips off her sleeves and she's showing off her tattoos and stuff. It's like, dang girl, you were all stressed out owner 2 minutes ago.
But then she came back. She's like, "I forgot who I was all this time,"
Mm-hmm.
and she's here.
She pawned her sword.
She did.
She pawned, what was it, Curse Slayer? Is that the
Yeah.
name?
Yeah, the Curse Crusher.
Curse Crusher. And they go to the pawn shop, and this has happened many times when we go to a convention or whatever, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I want to buy this," and the guy's like, "Oh, that's super cool. I remember this from blah blah blah." And the guy goes from being like, "Yeah, this is gonna be $100. We're gonna
Oh,
up the
that
price a
so
little bit."
doesn't happen.
All the time, all the time. But yeah, so now that Barley and Ian, they're stealing the kids' menu because the real map got blown up. They're now on a quest to find Raven's Point, and now the Manticore and the mom are now going to chase after them to be like Laurel, because you fucking kids, stop this. You're going to get
and the
yourself
Manticore
killed.
forgot to tell them that there is a curse along with the Phoenix Gems, so she wants to go help these kids so that, they don't
get cursed.
They don't get cursed. They don't unleash a curse onto the world. And
Which,
And comedy ensues.
It happens.
Because this is when we meet the Pixies?
The Sprites. The Sprites biker gang. Because they ran out of gas, because Guinevere's little gas
because Guinevere's a piece of shit, honestly.
I mean, just
he
saying
built that up, okay?
This sounds just like the boat, oh, boo, it might say full, but really it means we're almost out of gas.
Okay.
And then hold on, I gotta shift it to O because O means onward.
I love that. It's not drive, it's onward.
My grandmother used to have an old Plymouth minivan, and the entire dashboard was shorted, so it was literally that it's not oh, the gas gauge is always on full. It was just, none of the things worked. So she would start it
terrifying.
up. Well, she would start it up and she would sit there and be like, "Okay, I think we got like a quarter tank left."
I feel it.
Yeah, no, my
That's when you know your car, though.
I think at the time my grandmother was in her 60s or 70s, and she'd be like, "All right, I think we can make it to Fresno on this. I think we can do it." There was there was some close calls in those old days. I swear to
I get anxiety when the light goes on. I'm like, I need a gas station now. When it says clearly, oh, you have 12 miles till you absolutely run on E.
That gives you anxiety, not the time you almost drove us into those propane tanks at the gas station. That was nightmare fuel right there.
I did. I took a little too wide of a turn.
And hit the gas.
Almost, I went to go put in gas. I took a little too wide of a turn, hit the gas, and we almost ran in and drove into some propane gas.
Just cause, wanted to live life on the edge.
I think we both screamed. It was one of those moments where we're just like, oh
Screamed,
my God.
But then it didn't take my foot off the gas.
No, it just kept going. I was like,
but
my God.
I swerved and we got out of there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Guinevere's kind of a piece of shit van. But
she's the main character.
She is a main character, honestly, because it goes
the martyr.
It goes Ian, Barley, Guinevere in terms of important characters of the film.
Yes.
Actually, no. Ian, Guinevere, Barley. There we go. That works out as a better important characters.
He has more character development than Barley.
Yeah.
Obviously. Barley's the same from beginning to end.
Yeah, he never changes.
Becomes a fucking hero.
She's a martyr. She held it down.
And if there had been no pandemic over at Downtown Disney, they would have brought out a Guinevere van for
sure.
photo ops. So I feel like this movie would have really, been a storm chaser a little bit because everyone's into, the nerd lore, the nerd culture.
It feels a little bit like it's kind of cashing in on some of that Stranger Things nerd nostalgia kind of deal.
Yeah, because Stranger Things really got people into playing D&D. And, now that you kind of have, this movie where it's pulling in Lord of the Rings, D&D, Magic the Gathering, it's like, oh, yeah, I totally want to go see Guinevere and, get my pictures with it. And, they should have turned like the movie into a game somehow, a board game.
Yeah.
Well, I saw there was like a Disney X something tie-in or whatever, like a Disney Expo. They were like, oh,
I'll
we're
look
gonna
it up.
do like an Onward something. Like they were gonna add characters to some like Disney game, which happened. Like I feel like Disney was really gonna make a push with Onward to be like, we're gonna do toys, we're gonna do Onward the video game, Onward the lunchbox, Onward the flamethrower,
and
and
seeing
it
like
just
any like stuff like those plush toys that they sell at the stores. If you go to Disneyland, there's nothing about Onward.
I don't really get that because I feel the movie has legs. Was it just because it came out during like COVID, so it had like 3 weeks of people being able to see it, and then it just died?
It does have a tabletop game.
Of course it does.
It's Quests of Yore. It's Barley's
Oh
game
my
from the
gosh,
movie.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so I guess because the whole pandemic kind of threw a wrench into things, but yeah, there's it's on Amazon, it's on Shop Disney. But yeah, that's Barley's game. I would play that.
I would play that too. Oh, if only we knew we could have
Honestly.
played it after the we recorded.
We should have done it before so we can review it and be like this. You know what?
Ooh,
The movie's
yeah.
pretty good. The game's kind of shit. I'm sorry.
I don't know. I mean, this looks pretty fantastic. I kind of want this on the lowest of keys.
On the lowest of keys.
I mean-
birthday present.
Early birthday present.
Yeah.
I mean, your
Again,
brother is coming back from school, and he
That's
does want to
true.
learn how to play D&D. So,
That is true.
and he wants to learn
And
from the
you know what?
master.
He was the one
Totally.
that, because I told him we were recording, we were reviewing this movie, and
Mhm.
he goes, "I like it, but the storyline's predictable." So how do you guys feel about that?
I'll put it like this. I pretty much knew how the movie was going to play out just because it is that, I want to meet, this person who's dead, right? Or
Mhm.
somebody who's left, right? It's the same story of like, my dad left when I was 5 and now I figured out where he is and now I'm going to travel across the country so I can meet him and ask why he left. Like
Mhm.
that is a story from a lot of like 90s kids, teenage coming of age movies.
Yeah.
Granted, the end of this, I honestly thought they weren't going to meet their dad. Like legitimately, I
Because
thought
it was just like just trial after trial. I was
Mhm.
like, they're running out of time because when they got into the cave, they only had 2 hours.
Yeah.
I was under the assumption the ending of the movie was going to be a thing where they're like, oh, it's too late. We weren't able to bring him back. I won't be able to meet, dad or whatever. I'm sorry, Ian. You won't be able to meet your dad. And Ian was going to be like, don't worry. I think I already met him and they were going to hug. I thought that was going to be the ending.
Yeah.
But that emotional pitch of what actually happened worked way better.
Mm-hmm.
And there was controversy with it. People were upset that he didn't get to meet his dad. And it's like, you kind of have to...
Oh, miss the fucking point of the movie, people.
Exactly. And I'm like, you're missing the point, where we could probably just jump to the end where, Ian kind of,
Well,
discovers...
yeah, the whole middle section of the movie is just trial, error, obstacle, adventure stuff.
Yeah.
And
right?
obviously, we'll talk about it because, a lot of cool stuff happens, but it's just, Ian realizing that, all these years he's had a dad.
Mhm.
Barley's been his dad. And I love that, Ian kind of makes that last sacrifice where it's like, you know what? You should meet him.
Mm-hmm.
You should, well, not meet him, but
you
you
say
should
goodbye.
You should say goodbye because,
When he did see him, he was all tubed up from him dying, unfortunately.
and I was wondering, is that kind of a tie-in with Guardians of the Galaxy? Because that's exactly what happens to Peter Quill at the beginning of the movie. His mom's dying, and he doesn't say goodbye to her because he's so scared of, she's connected to the tubes and everything. So I'm like, are we getting a little riff of Guardians?
It also ties into the whole Barley character because he's like, I was so afraid to see him, and that's like my last memory of me not saying goodbye to him, and that's
which
why I'm never
prompted-
scared
yeah.
again.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, I'm never going to be scared again. And he isn't because he's over here doing riff-raff stuff because he's like,
He's
jumping off of buildings and stuff.
Straight hood rat over here. And then it's the whole thing, and I love that, like, Ian's like, I don't need to meet dad, but you need to say goodbye to him.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And like that's like some real good shit right there.
That's a real brother love, man. Like,
And that's when Dean lost it.
it's okay.
That was
if you
the
cry.
closest I think I came to having like a little choke up moment. That was the closest. I didn't cry during the movie. Honestly, like I swear, but like that was the closest I got to being like, I'm a little misty eyed over here. Fuck me, movie.
Damn you, Pixar.
The
Disney, man.
Disney Pixar coming together, right? It's like the thing, right? Fucking Toy Story is a lot of people are like, oh, Toy Story. There's one moment in every Toy Story movie that'll just break your fucking soul.
Toy Story 3.
3, when they're all in the little, they're about to be
In the
Incinerator, right?
When they're all holding hands.
It was, oh my god.
They're just all like, we're gonna go, boys.
Like, we're gonna go down together. It's okay.
Oh no,
could you imagine? It ended right there. Like it all falls in the incinerator, it burns, and then it's like, boom, cuts to fucking credits. Could you imagine?
It's Pixar. They would never do that.
No.
They would never.
Pixar would be those cold motherfuckers who would do it.
No.
They would be no. It would. Okay. They all fall into the incinerator. They all burn up, and then it cuts to black, right? And it cuts up, and now they're in a toy store again, right? And now inside the toy store, yeah. And there's a Woody doll on like the shelf, right? And then Andy sees it, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I did lose my Woody doll." And then he buys it, and then it all like starts over again with like a new Woody, and then we find out that Toy Story is all about fucking consumerism, and the evil's consumerism, right?
Well, it's like when in the
it turns into They Live.
In the second one, where Buzz Lightyear is in the toy barn,
right?
And he's like, they're like, "Oh, I'm Buzz Lightyear. I'm Buzz Star Command." Blah, blah, blah.
So I don't think that was gonna happen. I think Pixar did a good job.
It would be the darkest ending. Don't get me wrong.
No, the way it ended was the darkest ending, where he says goodbye to the toys, and they're all sitting together on the porch watching him drive away. And what does he say? He's like, so long, partner, or, it's been fun, partner. Oh, yeah, wrecked me.
I'm gonna start crying now.
I made it through the incinerator scene. I'm like, I know Pixar isn't going to have this. I'm like, oh, no, he gives away the toys and moves on. I was like, ugh. I'm like, I'd never do that to my toys.
Toy Story 2, Jessie being left under the tree.
Oh, I can't.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Again, every Toy Story movie has okay, when you watch it, this is where we're going to fucking get you, right? Onward, the climax, the whole like, oh, this was Dad's wizard name, that's pretty lame. Yeah, he also wanted me to give you this, and gives him the hug. That's the fuck you, we're gonna get you to cry moment of this movie.
I got a little misty-eyed last night when it happened. Misty? A little bit.
Now you cried.
No, that was actually last week. I found this YouTube channel. It's called Cinema Therapy.
It was Gods and Monsters. She just broke down in tears at the end.
No, but there's this YouTube channel called Cinema Therapy, and it's co-hosted by a therapist and a director, and they go through movies and they kind of talk about the toxic parts of the movies, what's real. So I watched Onward just to kind of give me perspective on what to expect.
You watched it beforehand?
I did. I wasn't expecting them to show me the ending. No, but it made me cry. No context, made me cry. And then from there I was on a rabbit hole. So I'm like, okay, so let me watch Up. And then even more tears.
Why would you do that?
And then I watched Coco to end it, and I was just like, I'm all cried out. So I think that's why I was able to kind of skate through last night and not completely lose it. But
never seen Coco.
Oh, we should have done that one. That one's really good. Makes me cry.
Yeah.
The one thing I absolutely love from that movie is the grandma's wrinkles on her face. I'm like, this looks so real. Like, I can feel the texture of her face.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's wild.
It is. I'm like, this is beautiful.
It breaks my heart every time.
But yeah, Onward. So the ending of the movie, like, that's the we're gonna get you guys as the Pixar moment.
Yeah.
But the movie for the most part is like, it's a fun adventure movie for the most of the movie, like the first hour and some change. It's a pretty fun adventure movie, and then it only starts getting like emotionally sad when Guinevere gets like broken up.
We talked about that in the car. We're like, oh my god, Guinevere, when he sacrifices Guinevere for the greater good.
I love the tape where it's Valhalla Rise.
Yeah. We got the tape with us.
But I'm telling you, from like it just shows like how much he is the big brother. Mm-hmm. And he plays that role really well, because I noticed like even when they're in the cave and they're drowning, he pulls him up first.
Yeah.
So there's like a lot of like selflessness as an older sibling. I'm an older sibling, so I felt that. That's why I always cry too. Because it's like
because your younger sibling wouldn't turn into Thanos given magic powers.
My sister would.
Like, oh no, your sister? Absolutely.
For the greater good, she would do it.
She's like, I just want the sweet gauntlet.
Give Randy the gauntlet and be like, if you snap this gauntlet, it'll end half the world. He's like, oh.
Yeah.
Multiple snaps.
He's like, well, why are you doing that? He's like, oh, I don't know these people. Fuck
yeah.
But yeah, it's a very nice movie.
It's very cute. I just even just like the small things, like the unicorns, they were so majestic, and now they look like little, just like street rats.
I know, that's what I was trying to figure. I'm like, are they supposed to be like cats? Because they're, they're hissing and they look all,
And the dragons are dogs, basically.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of...
Two really majestic animals in what we would see like a fantasy world are now just domesticated or undomesticated, because the unicorns are out here in the streets.
The cool thing, because I looked into this, right? So that is a more accurate depiction of mythological unicorns in this movie.
Little donkey-looking unicorns.
Feral.
Well, feral, aggressive, and mean. Yeah, that's what unicorns are in like ancient Norse culture. That's more accurate, which is more you know.
I didn't know that.
There's a lot of Viking shit in this movie. Talk about Valhalla and shit. It's pretty metal.
I mean, you've got Guinevere with, the sweet music, and
I like how when he like presses on the gas, she kind of like sounds like an actual horse.
When the tires pop.
The tires pop. It does the galloping noise. The fucking...
Very Monty Python with the coconuts.
Yes. And the, what is it? The
parking tickets.
The parking tickets start flying out and it looks like...
air conditioning.
And I'm looking at that and I'm like...
That's when the true tears started to roll.
This is so goddamn cheesy. This is so cheesy.
He's sitting there in the dark.
The perfect amount of cheese.
It's a fine Swiss. Oh, Lord.
And like I noticed like in the kitchen scene in the very beginning that the mom also has like the pink bakery box and hidden in the corner. I was like, how did I not notice this before? It was just like little things.
I thought you were going to say she had like a Portos box in the corner. Like, let's go. Yeah,
Portos.
No, it's called Orko's box because, mythical.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
But even like the magic, I thought the spells bombastia. I thought it was like so lame.
Bombastic side-eye.
The magic in this is absolutely some shit that only old D&D nerds would come up with.
Like you?
No. The generations before me.
I wonder if they had like in the making of this and then writing it out, if they had actual like consultants of D&D players.
Oh, I'm sure.
It's probably the director. He was like, "Yo, I grew up in the 70s. Like me and my bro, we got stoned and played D&D. And we listened to fucking metal, dude. It was lit."
Oh, but I also heard that his brother, the director's brother, didn't even know this was going on. Like, he had no idea he was making this movie.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. So, like, obviously when they finished it, they were like, here, I made this.
Yeah, again, that sounds about right.
I bet you he cried his eyes out.
Randy be like, I have no idea you guys were doing this. Like, does your brother not? We talk all the time. He just never says it.
Yeah. That goes back to my point. Like, this is such a blank check movie. This feels so personal to, like, the director. All the aesthetics feel, like, very, like, precise to a very specific kind of guy. Mm-hmm. And it still kind of works for,
yeah, because
like,
I've
major
never
audiences.
played D&D, but I loved it.
I mean, I've tried to play Magic. Just, it goes over my head, the rules.
Oh, it's not that hard.
It's
I mean,
hard.
it gets harder now because Wizards of the Coast is a bunch of greedy sons of bitches. I'm not getting into that. I'm not getting into that. I like having a happy time on this show, not talking about the shit state that Magic the Gathering is in.
He'll be.
Anybody want to talk about something else, please?
He'll be back in it in a couple of months. It cycles where he's like, "Oh, I don't need no Magic cards," and then it's like, "Oh my God, we got to go to Frankenstein's. I need these cards now."
It used to correlate to when a new modern set came out, but now it does not correlate to that at all. Well, whatever. So yeah, Onward. So what you guys, did you guys like it? Would you recommend it? Where's this in your modern Disney realm? Do you wish
it's on my list on my rewatch?
Same.
So that says something.
Did you wish this probably got pulled from theaters and just got released after COVID stopped, so we can have another a real run?
Yeah, it would have been nice. I mean, then again, we didn't know the state of how the world was going to be.
I watched it in theaters, but also...
You watched it?
Whoa.
What? We should have started with... So you actually were there in the, 4 days before the world ended? Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
Because I was like, I want to watch it. We went to the theater with the recliner chairs. I tossed it back.
Of course.
And you want to know why I knew it was out, though? Because going to work, there was a billboard sign with them on Guinevere
Of course, because you have to drive
So
through Anaheim.
I saw it. I'm like, oh, like what a nice little movie that's gonna come out. So I watched the trailer. I was like, I told my siblings, like, guys, we gotta watch this movie. It looks so cute. So we did, and that's when everything went to hell.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, was the theater like packed when you went to go see it?
Yeah, it was packed. All the seats were taken.
Really?
No, it's a Pixar movie.
Well, I get it's a Pixar movie, but I'm also like, because they were already saying like, theaters aren't safe. I think at that point they were already saying like people shouldn't be going to theaters. I'm surprised it'd be packed.
It was after the shutdown that theaters finally fell into line.
Yeah, it was definitely before everything started getting scary. Because I remember one time I was going to work and the streets were empty.
Yeah,
and it had just finished raining. I was like, this looks very apocalyptic right now.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, we weren't wearing masks at that point. It
We
was
weren't,
just, we're
not
hearing
even in the
this.
store.
And then I think that was the same day that the president came out and, state of emergency. We're all watching at work. And it was just like, what is going on?
Mm-hmm.
I remember I was going to Long Beach and I was walking through like the campus or whatever. And they were like, hey, we're going to do like this is our last class or whatever before I think lockdown or whatever. And I'm walking through and it's all fucking empty.
This was
like,
scary.
Yeah. Like, I'm guessing, like, professors were like, hey, don't even show up, whatever. We'll just email you when you have to come back. But, like, I still had to go or whatever because I didn't get a cancellation. And, like, I have to walk from one edge of campus all the way across, like, that fucking mile and a half. And there's no one. Security's
so
empty.
Eerie. Ugh.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so fucking weird. It's also the same thing when I go into, like, empty movie theaters.
That's scary.
Yeah.
Because I always get like when The Dark Knight came out and there was that shooting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I always get that feeling like I need to exit strategy right now.
I was there that next morning after the massacre had happened in Aurora. I was there with a couple of friends because we had gotten like tickets for the
in
first
Colorado or just in a theater.
No, in a theater here, but we
Okay.
got like first tickets of the day
Mhm.
because it's a Dark Knight. We want to see it. And I mean, yeah, we were terrified. I mean, there wasn't that many people in the theater, but it's like, yeah, that's kind of the movie going experience. And to go back to your original question, yeah, I kind of wish that they had waited to, push this movie out.
They did that with another Disney movie. They waited to release it.
Lightyear was one because I think that was when they held off releasing for a long time. Like, it got pushed back a few times.
But there was something live action, though, I think.
I don't know if it was Disney because I know Wonder Woman 84, that was like supposed to be released in theaters and then they held off on that for like almost a year and then they were like, fuck, we got to release it. And that was HBO Max.
Yeah,
the
I mean,
Snyder Cut was
I
another
think it was
one.
Black Widow
Black Widow was another one that got...
they held off on releasing it
Mhm.
because of,
Everything that was going
Mhm.
on.
That, again, like Onward is such a weird movie in the context of this was kind of the last big animated movie before the world ends.
I know what it was.
What was
Sorry, it was Mulan.
Oh, Mulan.
That's
It was Mulan.
Mulan,
Yeah.
that's
It was
right.
Mulan.
Yeah.
Oh, God, Mulan.
Because we
has
talked
a-
about that at work. We
We
wanted
did.
to go see it.
That movie was trash.
That was I heard nothing but horrible things about that movie, and the behind the scenes was also like horrible show. Like, so it was just a horrible movie.
I watched it. I didn't. I'm a very I like the classic movies, so I wish they would have implemented more of the original movie into it. Like, there's no Shang. We live for Shang. Why didn't you have Shang in there?
Liv Shang.
Yeah, they changed her name. It wasn't Ping. It was something else.
I mean, it's like, if you're gonna, bring this classic character to life, it's like, bring it, as much of the story
Mhm.
as you can.
There's no singing. I want to make a man out of you. It was not in there.
I mean, we have the new Little Mermaid that's coming out soon, and, that's pretty much a remake of the
Mhm.
classic movies. So it's like, yeah, how are you going to do Little Mermaid and not have Under the Sea part of your world?
Kiss the girl.
Yeah, it's like, how are you not going to be able to do that?
I honestly, I know that some people are like, oh, I don't want to see Little Mermaid for X, Y, and Z reason. And I'm like, guys, it's a live action Disney remake of an animated film. It's probably just not going to be good. I don't think there's ever been a live action.
Beauty and the Beast was nice.
It was nice?
Yeah, it was
it as
nice.
good as the original?
The thing is, Emma
Was it
Watson isn't a singer, so that was my
Mhm.
big thing that I had.
Uh,
but she was a wonderful
Belle, yeah.
Well, she's a good actress, yeah, but
Mhm.
it's like, okay, so Beauty and the Beast, and that's it? And there's like 6 other ones? Because like the Lion King one, I know made a bunch of money, but I'm like, that's just,
It was a little weird for me.
It's
And
weird.
then the Aladdin one, I didn't even bother watching that
I didn't
one.
like that one either.
I think there's a Jungle Book one.
The Jungle Book one is good though.
Was it good?
I mean, there's a ton of Jungle Book live action movies.
That
Yeah.
one specifically, because I think that was the first one where they did like animated, with the
Like
CGI animals.
And that was by Jon Favreau, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jon Favreau is a weird director for me because he just does like whatever the fuck. Like he's
Jungle
him
Book is good. It's really nice.
and him and Dave Filoni together, they work on The Mandalorian, and it's just amazing. Both of you
you
guys, please, I've been begging you for years.
I know.
Jon Favreau goes from doing like wedding or what is it? It's not. Is it Swingers? I think it's like Swingers. Fucking
He's an Iron Man.
Happy?
Well, he
Happy.
directs Iron Man.
Yeah.
He directs Iron Man. He does Chef. He does like the Jungle Book
Chef
movies.
is such a good movie. You gotta watch Chef.
Like, but I'm like, Jon Favreau is one of those like journeyman directors where I'm like, you could just give him like $100 million and he'll just like make whatever fucking movie you ask him, and it's gonna be good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, fascinating director. But yeah,
Also,
fucking Onward. What were we talking about?
Onward did get its premiere because it came out
it did.
right before the pandemic, really went into effect. But
it was also nominated for Best Animated Film for
Mhm.
that
I
year.
think the animation was beautiful.
yeah,
What was the? I'm wondering what its competition was.
well, you looked that up when I was going through the credits last night. I saw that Peter Docter was attached to it, to the film, and I was like, Peter Docter was attached to the original Monsters Inc., Up, all these movies that really just go for the heartstrings. And I'm like, there's something special about Peter Docter. I mean,
And just like not a lot of people know about this movie, and I'm so sad because it's so good. Like I had to tell my cousin to watch it, and then she made her boyfriend watch it, who he lost his dad when he was really young. So poor guy was waterworks all the way around.
I feel like this movie kind of got like the same treatment that Up got, where people were just like, oh, it's a floating house. And I mean, there wasn't a lot of like merchandising with it.
But now everybody loves Up.
Yeah, and Up came out the year that
Up becomes like one of the quintessential Pixar movies.
Yeah, and that came out the year that I graduated high school. And I was like, I remember that time, and I don't remember seeing
I
too
didn't go
much.
to the theaters to...
Me either.
The first time I watched that was in my mom's minivan because we bought the DVD and we popped it into the little the built-in movie thing. What are they called?
A DVD player.
No, I know it's a DVD player, but what are the ones?
The
are they called something when they're in the cars?
No, there's still a DVD.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the DVD like player that has the screen that pops down. I just called it a DVD player.
Okay.
I didn't have one. That was for rich people. But
We weren't rich.
But that's how I felt like this movie kind of got that same treatment where, it's a really great film, but it kind of got neglected.
Okay, I found it. So the Oscar for Best Animated Features of 2020. We have Wolfwalkers. That was one that was nominated. Shaun the Sheep movie,
I love Shaun the
Farmageddon.
Sheep.
That was also nominated. Over the Moon, which was also nominated.
Yeah.
Onward, nominated. But the winner is Soul.
Oh,
Soul came out the same year?
Soul came out the same year and
Wow.
was
I think
the
later
winner.
on in the year, but Soul was good too.
Haven't seen it yet.
Yes.
It's cute. The animation in that one, everything looks real.
I mean,
Soul came out in December. That's probably
Yeah.
why. Yeah.
yeah, I'm really behind in my Pixar movies. I mean, I haven't seen, the second Incredibles movie,
Girl, that one's so cute.
Luca. I was like, yeah.
Luca. All the movies make me cry. All the Disney movies.
I'm just trying to
Each
think.
one of those made me cry.
Oh,
all
God.
of them.
Everything makes her
you
cry.
She watches Monsters University and she's just
I
tearing.
did.
Oh my God.
I don't think Monsters University made me cry.
It's Animal House but animated.
Monsters Inc. made me cry. I went to go see that in the theater
It's
when it came out.
when they fight, like even in Onward, where he lies about his brother being a screw up.
Oh,
Like that
yeah.
hurt because he's over here trying to do his best, like just living life, and having his younger brother be like, "Yeah, he's a screw up," and there's no way he was trying to recover from saying that, but it's like the magic doesn't lie.
Is that true? Magic doesn't lie.
Oh, magic lies all the time. I play a bard in D&D and I constantly
Of
lie.
course you are a bard.
Of course I am. We've been over this.
Are you the Chris Pine bard?
Yes, actually, they based that character off of me. I swear to God.
God.
Look, there's a reason I loved the D&D movie is watching it. I'm like, yeah, no, I've played that character. I know so many people. I know Matt played that character. Greg's played that character. Like watching that lineup, I'm like, yeah, no, that's the table. Yeah, that's the table where yeah, that's it. But yeah, so Onward though, I very much enjoyed it. Any last words on Onward?
I want to watch it again.
Recommend it. How did you like the portrayal of magic? Like, how did it look like to you? Did it look real? Did it look... Obviously, it's not real because it's animation.
Magic's not real. I don't know why I have to keep explaining.
Okay,
I played D&D.
Okay, calm down, sir. I think one thing we forgot to talk about, major thing, the dragon.
The little, like, mascot.
The dragon...
face.
Okay, the dragon dog or the cursed dragon
The
monster?
cursed dragon.
Oh, with his stupid little face.
Because,
Oh.
they're on the quest to get the... What's the gem called again? The Phoenix Stone?
Yeah,
Phoenix Stone.
Phoenix Gem.
Phoenix Gem. And, they go on this huge journey. They're off-roading. And then it leads them back home to the...
That pissed me off.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, they went on this whole entire journey when it's right across the street from their school.
And it's kind of like, was it intuition for Barley that, he was trying to preserve this, what was it, like
It was a fountain.
a fountain? Like,
But they still needed to go on the journey because they needed that little piece to unlock
yeah,
it.
they
Anyway.
needed the
It's
piece.
not about the destination, man. It's about the journey.
And it was because that's how Ian realized, like, I had a dad this whole entire time.
Yeah.
And, like Ian realizes I had a dad this whole time. Barley realizes, like, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't be such a weirdo. It really worked itself out.
But also, trust your gut.
He was like,
your
I've
gut.
never... this old reliable. Shaking his belly. I was like, that's such a Chris Pratt thing I've ever seen in my life.
Like, Dean would totally do something like that.
I'm not Chris Pratt. I swear.
He's Andy.
Yes.
Nah, he's
very
Barley.
much. You are Barley. But yeah, we finally get the dragon. And I love his goofy face. He's just made up out of the school.
It's like he starts taking pieces out of the school and he looks like all like beefed up with rock and then a little mascot face.
Adorable little dragon mascot face. And this is when the Manticore and the
Laurel.
mom, and Laurel the mom.
She's a mighty warrior.
She's a mighty warrior, and it's adorable.
using her Tebow moves.
Yeah.
She's just like,
I like how they put the music on and she's like
yeah.
yeah.
And they managed to like fend off the dragon, but to do that, Ian has to leave Barley to like wait for his dad to be summoned, and then
That sacrifice was beautiful.
And we talked about that because Barley gets to say goodbye to his dad, and it's fucking adorable. It's adorable.
And it's like everyone left with something. Laurel saw, yeah, I am
She
a warrior.
She fought to have her kids have this one last chance with their dad.
Yeah, because it could have been a thing where, I'd like to see my husband one last time.
Mhm.
But
Well,
it's
she
like,
moved on. She got that Bronco
Doesn't mean
now.
she doesn't love her husband still.
No.
It's still her husband.
Oh no, she got that Bronco now.
I think
she's
She got
good.
the mighty steed.
She got the main man now.
That, I think, was one of the funniest parts of the movie where she's like, you forgot your keys. He's like, no, I didn't. And he takes off.
The hat, the flowing mane, and he gallops off.
His slap when he slaps himself.
He's like, I just need a little bit of incentive before I take off for work.
Like, that was so unnecessary, but I kind of enjoy it because he was like, boom.
But see, yeah, she was good, Ian, he found his dad. Barley got to say goodbye.
The way that he's like in the rubble, like looking at his dad, I'm like, that's so sad.
Like, he's right there.
Yeah, he could easily. All he had to do was jump over the rubble, though.
But he had like hurt his leg, and then
that's true.
the
He did
staff, landed outside of the rubble. So
It also works great, like cinematically, and how they do it, where we never hear what Barley and his dad say. We just see it from afar, and I'm like,
That's true
that's
because
perfect.
Barley could have lied.
Yeah.
I mean, like he said this and this and this,
Could you imagine? He's like, yeah, I talked to Dad, and he was like, oh, Barley, I missed you so much. How's Ian? And Barley's like, he's doing okay. He's like, oh yeah, I never thought he'd turn out well. Like
Turns out say that.
Turns out his dad's just a total dick. He's
I
like,
guess-
oh, you grew up to be shit. I see how it is.
A character we don't talk about though is his dad, being half-bodied throughout the whole movie. How does he feel? Does he? Obviously, he knows it's his kids.
We referenced it,
But still, it's like, does he? I don't know. I guess I don't understand the magic of it. The little tapping of the feet. That was so cute.
Well, because that's the thing, They're like, Barley's like, oh, one of the only memories I really have of Dad is I used to tap, shaving a haircut on his foot or whatever. And like he does that to his dad, and his dad's like, oh, my kid's here, and he's gonna like tap around with his foot, try and figure out what's going on. Like that's like a cute little conceit of the movie that I'm willing to look past because it don't really make a whole lot of sense. Also, does he have to use the bathroom? Does his
like
kids
I
have
think
to help
like
him?
logically, like does he know? Because he's only like
Half.
only half his body. Does he know? Like, can he? Is his other part of his body somewhere else? But he knows what's going on. Like they talk to him as if he can hear them, but obviously he can't because he's only legs.
Also, I like
I'm still
that.
trying to figure out the bathroom section.
No, I just like that they use the dog leash on him to
They
keep
hook-
him. Like, Dad, come on.
I like how they even put like a top on him, and it's like even in the gas station where the Sprite is like yelling at him, and he goes
Yeah, I love the attitude
kinda
that just,
flows
you know,
over.
the pretend top half of him.
when he has like his feet on the dash, and he's just like leaning out the window. I thought,
Or when they're
beautiful.
trying to escape the sprites. And, you know, he goes almost flying out the window and he's just like shaking his fist.
and they're beeping,
and like, getting all pissed off.
causing a ruckus. Doesn't even know it.
And he was still wearing the purple socks.
He was wearing the purple socks.
Has he been wearing those same purple socks since college?
I'm also confused. I'm like, are they getting like the best version of their dad, or are they getting like, oh, dad like seconds before he died kind of dad?
I'm assuming it's just like a memory. But then again, we don't understand the magic. We didn't get any backstory on that.
We
That
don't.
works. Oh, one thing I did notice this time around is that in the beginning of the movie, where they do that little like scene of like how the world was before
Mhm.
this time,
Mm-hmm.
it's the dad narrating. The only reason why I know this is because I had the captions on. It was like Wilden says, da, 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 da.
Oh.
And it's word for word what he says in the letter that he has attached to the staff.
Interesting.
And then Ian does the same monologue at
Mhm.
the end of the movie,
Yeah.
Mhm.
coming full circle.
Mm-hmm.
Cinema people, it's kino.
The tears are welling up in Dean's eyes as we speak.
I'm fine. I swear.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
It was so beautiful.
But yeah. Any last words for Onward?
Should we do favorite characters?
Sure, why not? It's Guinevere. I don't know the best character of the film.
That's mine, Guinevere.
Oh,
What about you?
My favorite character.
it's gonna be the dragon dog.
Nah, he was kind of annoying.
You wouldn't have a dragon pet dog?
I have a dog right now, and she's a puppy. She's so annoying.
Do you want a kitten? I have a lot of kittens I need to get rid of.
I already have lots of cats. I
Yeah.
don't need more.
But these ones are like weeks old and they're adorable
Don't
and
tell
tiny.
me that, because I will take them.
I
don't
have a
have any-
bundle
no.
of 8. There's
Oh,
a
do you
box
have
of them.
pictures?
Yes, I do.
He does.
Bundles
okay, stop,
of kittens.
Stop. I can't. Okay, I'm realizing from this experience that I'm definitely a cat person. Nothing wrong with dogs. Just they require more attention
Yeah,
than cats, because cats do their own thing.
they do.
Like when I left my house, my cat had her feet kicked up on my pillow, like,
Sounds about right.
and she looked so cute. So, not the dragon dog, but I guess my favorite character, probably Barley. I just like how enthusiastic he is and just being, because I am an older sibling.
Yeah.
I relate to him a lot. I'm not Barley because he's chaotic, but he's a chaotic good.
No, really?
Yes.
You're not like Barley at all?
I would say I'm a
Really?
mix
No.
between Barley and Ian. Because I have anxiety. I'm very shy sometimes. I'm very introvert. I'm an introverted extrovert. So
Yes.
I have my time where I can be charismatic. But then once I've hit that threshold, I'm just like, okay, bye. Going home. Never see me
Ever again.
ever again. But yeah, 10/10 recommend all the way around. If you haven't watched it, you should watch it.
I would give it a big recommendation. I gave this 4 stars on Letterboxd, 4 out of 5.
Why 4?
No, that's actually good
That's
for him.
hard. That's hardcore. That's good.
Yeah, usually I can't get a score that high out of him.
You
Oh.
got a score the last time we recorded. Don't worry. It was
You
good.
gave, what did you give? Was it Fablemans or Gods and Monsters?
Gods and Monsters was a 4. Your movie was a 4. Don't worry.
Why
It's
why
okay.
the low score
Also,
though?
we're spoiling
Is it because
stuff
it's like a
that's
little bit
coming
on
It's
the
out
cheesy?
of 5. Kind of thing.
Oh, okay. I thought
Yeah.
it was for some reason I thought it was 10.
Or I give it a 4 out of 100. It's, it's pretty good.
That
It's
sounds
real
about
good. Yeah.
like Dean's rating right
Gotta
there.
score
What don't you
hardcore.
like about it? Is it because it's a cheesy on the cheesy
It's
side?
a cheese.
But
It's a little cheesy. It's the humor in some sections feels a little like cringy humor
Mm.
when his brother shows up for his friends and he's showing ass crack and the car's doing bad and I'm just
He's
like
He's like,
Again,
oh, how embarrassing, and then he
Pot,
squats
meat,
down.
kettle.
yes, I hate myself. This is why.
I've seen that crack many a time.
But yeah, like I think it's a thing where it's like it's obviously pitched for like a younger audience that I'm just not a part of, and it's a thing where some of the humor is a little goofy, but the message is like really, really good, and I really do think the characters and chemistry is really works really well. And I loved all the fun references, and it was very nice. But yeah, I thought it was a really good movie. It's just not a masterpiece.
I guess
I give it a 4 out of 5 too.
Mine's a 5.
It's a 5 out of 5.
Yours is a 10.
She's like, it goes Onward, The Godfather, Citizen Kane.
I just like feel good movies. I like the movies that make me cry, even if it's like a happy cry, sad cry.
You'd have to give her a real difficult one, like Onward or The Mummy.
Onward or Singing in the Rain.
I'd probably still pick Onward.
Wow.
Only because it just, maybe I am naive and like to live in this fantasy world, but I just like, there's good things. I like the mystical, the fanciful.
The fantastical world of Onward.
Exactly.
So have we decided, are we going to get Quest Sayur and play? I'd be down.
I'd play it.
Find out next time on the Film Club podcast if they actually play this game.
He totally wants to play.
But what are we doing next week?
Next week, new month, new theme. Kind of sad to see Animation Month go.
It was a good month.
It was a good month. Let us know in the comments if you guys liked, guest episodes for every episode of the month. But next month is Movies About Movies Month. And it's curated by me. And we're starting with a new movie that Dean and I have never seen before, The Fabelmans.
Yeah,
Ooh.
Steven Spielberg. That's the movie that everyone thought was going to win the Oscar, and then Everything Everywhere All at Once was like, nah,
they
Dick.
took everything.
It won like 8 Oscars.
Oh.
It won a bunch, and Fabelman got 0.
Yeah, got nothing.
It looked good.
It was... I'm excited
And
to
to
find
be
out.
nominated, I feel like it's already a pretty good movie.
And it was also filmed right down the street.
It was?
Some
Oh,
of
yeah.
it was.
Oh yeah, we can
Now
show
you-
you.
Well, yeah,
it's
we'll-
100 feet out this door.
You know where we park?
Mm-hmm.
That's street.
No way.
Yeah,
100%.
I've got pictures.
Okay.
But if they wanted to listen to that, where can they go?
If you want to listen to us on a different platform than you currently are, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and YouTube.
You can go to our YouTube channel, The Film Vault. That is The Film Vault on YouTube. Eventually, Dean will remember to upload video versions of this podcast.
Someday.
In the long from now. But if you also wanted to follow us on social media, you can go to
The Film Club Podcast on Instagram, where we post daily stories, upcoming episodes, and random adventures we go on.
And if they wanted to follow Ariel, where can they go?
You can go at The Cookie Den on Instagram and Facebook.
You can get cookies there.
Yeah, yummy cookies.
We got cookies today.
Yeah,
So
you guys
excited.
did. That's the first thing you asked.
That was the first thing that Dean asked. Did you bring the cookies?
I'm
Did you
just
bring it?
throwing it out there.
I didn't even have to
Good
ask.
cookies.
I recognized the box. I was like, ooh, there's cookies coming.
Just
Imagine if I
free
showed up and there wasn't cookies
recommendation.
in theirs.
Free recommendation. The cookies are good. Go get the cookies.
Order them right now.
Right now.
Yes, order them. Don't even finish this podcast. Order it right now.
Right now.
But with that, we'll see you next week at the Film Club.
Let's move onward.